Yes, welcome once again, ladies and gents, entrepreneurs from all over the world. Welcome once again to the Young Entrepreneur Mindset podcast, where I am your host, and we are definitely going to be talking about business, branding, marketing, the mindset. We're going to be talking about a lot of good things, man. So tune in and subscribe to the channel. I invite you that if you haven't yet subscribed, shame on you because you are going to be missing a lot of good information, educational, to how to grow your business, how to grow your brand and whatnot. So listen, if whether you're an artist, whether you're an actress, an actor, it doesn't matter what entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, I think, is the whole umbrella, right, of entrepreneurship, whether it's business, solo entrepreneur, CEO, even if you're an employee, right? If but you're trying to shift that mindset to entrepreneurship, listen, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and follow, and also listen on the audio download, was going to be available also on all the podcast platforms you could imagine: Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify. All those you can find the Young Entrepreneur Mindset podcast, and you're gonna tune into not only this episode but many more episodes about business and how to grow. And also, we're going to be meeting just normal people that have had hiccups throughout the path, right, of their career, their success, their ups and downs, and sharing everything. So tune in, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and share this content with other entrepreneurs that you may know in your community, in your state, in your area, that may need this information as well. So tune in, because today's guest is a very special guest to me. We're going to be talking about a very important topic: systemized gratitude marketing. All right. So this gentleman, today, when he wrote to me, actually, I want to read what he wrote to me, because when he reached out to me, he said that he wanted to speak about that systemized gratitude marketing and how most businesses are unintentionally poisoning, listen to this, poisoning their best customer and employee relationships. That's important. And what they can do to correct it, to start bringing in more referrals. So listen, if you're into a referral business, your sales, what is, you need more referrals, tune in all the way to the end, because Steve is going to be bringing some great knowledge on this. The majority of mentors and coaches don't cover this stuff simply because they don't know how and don't know the formula for it. But that is important. He's going to be talking about that formula. So Steve is the founder and CEO of the Appreciation Advocate. I'm going to be having all the links on there on the description below, so don't worry about that. And since 2012, he's been a small business owner. He focused his business around wanting building deep and meaningful relationships. That's very important, man. So this man has knowledge, so he's going to be bringing us a lot more knowledge. So, Mr. Steve, how are you, sir?
Great to be here, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Now there was a last name. There was a special way to say your last name. How you pronounce the last name?
Bazogany.
Bazagany, because it's like harmony. Bazagany. Okay. All right, Steve, man. Listen, man. Great to see you. Great to have you here. My audience. I know you're gonna be adding a lot to the mindset. What if there's one definition or one something that you could say regarding mindset? What would that be before we get started? What is your opinion or the way you see the importance of mindset?
What's that quote called? It's man gets what he repeatedly thinks about. So that's what I would tell
Mm,
you. That it's
awesome.
I forget who said it, but I know it's somebody important.
Yeah, no, I'll Google that definitely. Let's record this. So I'm going to Google that and probably put that in my next Facebook post. So, Steve, man, I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your time. Um, just for my audience, that we could get to know who Steve Buzagani is. Just give us a little overview about your beginnings, right? As a youngster, what was your maybe your dreams and desires as a high school, maybe in college or whatnot? What got you to where you are today?
So for me, actually, starting in college, I was going to do accounting, and then what happened is I ended up not going into accounting. I did 2 internships as an accountant, and I realized I couldn't do the 9 to 5 thing. I couldn't sit in front of a
Okay.
computer and do numbers all day long. So I was like, all right, well, it's senior year now. I can't abandon this now. I better find something in the next 5 months that'll allow me to have a high income that doesn't require a whole lot of prerequisites, because otherwise I don't get a degree in accounting. I mean, I ended up getting it for
Right.
mom, but I, never got, I never went into. So I found real estate and I was like, well, this is cool. Unlimited income, and I can work my own hours. That sounds awesome. They didn't tell you that there's no floor either. So that when you first get started, so that you got to
Right.
get right to do it and you got to work your butt off. And what happened is I also learned about myself that I'm more on the introverted side of things. So what I
Okay.
know is that making those cold calls, those sales calls, and trying to work your database to try to get more, I would say more sales, more referrals. I was terrible at it, and I was like, I need to find another way to call these people and ask for business, because I just can't do it the way I'm doing it now. So what I started doing is I started being just thankful for them being in my life, and I said, send them a gift. And I would follow up the gift with a phone call. And I'd just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know I did really appreciate you being in my life, and I wanted to make sure that you knew it. And I sent you a gift a couple of days ago. I got a notification that it was delivered, and I wanted to make sure that you got it. And they were like, yeah, oh my God, Steve, that was so nice of you. This is so great, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I heard you're in real estate. How's the market? And now therein lies, now the door's open. Now the door's open. So it's like, all right, well, the market's great right now. What have you been up to? You guys, you making moves, or what's the story with you guys? And I can just turn it right around on them. And they would be like, oh yeah, well, actually, we're just looking to buy our first home, and probably at the end of the year. I'm like, take note. All right, we'll put that in my reminder list. I said, fantastic. It's great. I'll touch base with you guys, at the end of the year sometime, and we'll pick it up. And I'll be happy to help you guys out with that. It's a really fun thing. They're like, oh, that's so nice of you, Steve. Like, thanks. That's awesome. It's, the least we can do is buy a house with you for sending us this nice gift, which obviously the commission on the sale of the house was significantly greater than the gift itself.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, that's important. I think you said something very important, is that relationship, right? Is getting that connection with people. How important is that, even in today's world of entrepreneurship? How important is that relationship interaction? Because I see that when you wrote that to me, that that's important, because people are not establishing those relationships especially with their customers.
Yeah, the thing that really screws up a lot of businesses, and actually and I don't mean this as a terrible thing, but like the humanity as a whole doesn't say thank you enough. And that lack of gratitude. So first of all, the exercise of gratitude will bring a massive abundance to your life, to your business, to your overall mentality. I mean, I think there's some kind of study that said people who practice gratitude are like 52% happier than people who don't practice gratitude. Like, I have a gratitude journal every morning. I do. It takes 3 minutes to do, and it's just really nice to just go through and just write. I mean, it's at the beginning of doing it when you first start. It's like, okay, cool. I'm really thankful for the house I have, things like that. But then you start to really have to think about it, and it's like that gratitude. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm actually really thankful that my car started this morning, or that that I can move all of my limbs, and that I can walk. And
there's a small things. Exactly.
Yeah, the fact that I'm on a podcast, or the fact that my internet works, like all these things start to come up. It's like, wow, like you realize you have a lot more than you would. Like, a lot of people who are depressed, they don't realize how much they do have. And I'm a little bit more of a I wouldn't say crazy Bible thumping type, but I am a faithful person. So what I've learned is that when you count your blessings, God gives you more of them. So it makes God, when you count your blessings, he makes them harder to count, basically.
That's right.
That's the true thing. So I think that's one thing that that if more businesses practice that, they would have more abundance within their careers, more fulfillment within their careers. And it would be something for them to actually like. It's more fun. I mean, it's more fun. I get to be Santa Claus 12 months a year now.
Yeah, 11, there you go.
11 months. 11. We don't do gifts in December because we can't be doing gifts when everybody else does. We would never stand out.
No, exactly. Exactly. That's a good point. So listen, let's get right into it, because you sent me a message about that systemized gratitude marketing. I was like, oh, that's very interesting, and I would like to get to know more myself as well from my audience. So let's get right into it. What is systemized gratitude marketing?
Yeah. So great question. So what it basically is I try to keep it as straightforward as possible. Is you using it's attaching gratitude to a marketing campaign So
Okay.
like, let's put it this way. Gratitude by itself is not a marketing campaign. It's just kind of a virtue. But
Okay.
when attached to a purposeful plan, like in a very intentional plan, it becomes the number one most effective and highest ROI generating form of marketing available to small business owners. And
Nice.
that's why and then because it's a plan and it's intentional and it's purposeful and it has ROI, that's what makes it systemized. That's the systemized part. Obviously, the gratitude is the gratitude part. And then the marketing is because you're reaching out to other people, making impressions. That's the marketing part of it.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, there's something very important, and I like the way you express it. Is saying how people don't realize how they're poisoning their
Yeah.
best customer. That's a key phrase there. Poison. Like, why do you think that?
So it's not it's so for me, I would say I'd rather someone not exercise gratitude at all. Like I would rather you not give a gift than express it incorrectly. So
Okay.
like for example, if you had a client who paid you $50,000 for the year, or for me, let's go back to me in real estate. I sold someone $1 million home. That's about a $20,000 commission, roughly, give or take. So
Okay.
if I imagine making $20,000 off the sale of a house and then me sending them a $25 gift card to Amazon. How do you think that client's going to respond?
Oh, yeah.
Now, yeah, I'm saying, hey, thanks for the business. But what do you think they're saying? They're probably like, dude, I saw how
Yeah.
big your commission was on that settlements deed, and you're sending me $25.
Yeah, I know.
So that's how you're poisoning it. Because people like
Wow.
the whole purpose of a gift is it's the symbol of of the relationship that you have. And I learned that from John Rowland, who's a fantastic mentor of mine. And
Okay.
it's basically a symbol of the relationship you have with another person. So if you cheap out on the gift,
Right.
you're basically communicating to that person that they're not worth it, that they're not worth your time,
Right.
and that's where the poisoning comes in. You're not
Wow.
worth. I didn't come in to. I didn't want to put the effort into your gift, so here's an e-gift card. You know what I mean? Like, here's $20. Go, run along, Fido. Get yourself something nice at the store, Junior. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of what it feels like versus as opposed to spending 5 to 10% of your net income off of that client. Which, okay, if it's a $20,000 commission, 5% of that is $1,000 over the course of a year. You can invest $1,000 over the course of a year into somebody.
Exactly.
That's on the low end. If you went to the full 10%, you'd spend $2,000 over the course of the year. That's what does that come out to be? Like $500 a quarter. Like you can
Something
get
like that.
somebody that's just the budget. Like you don't have to exceed the budget. You can get something nice for like $100. You're still $400 under budget, and it's a fantastic gift. And you put some effort into it. Maybe here's I know this is going to be crazy, wild, mind blowing idea. You wrap it with a bow, and then something really
Yeah.
complicated. You know what I mean? And then you put a personal note on it. Oh, holy crap, mind blowing stuff. You're groundbreaking, and then
Yeah.
you send it off to them, and that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. And the
It
presentation
does,
of
man.
the presentation of the gift is much more, actually, it's most times more important than the actual gift itself, because the presentation shows the effort, shows the detail, shows the I give a crap type of
Right.
that's
Yeah,
what it
man.
says.
Don't be so cheap. That's for real.
Yeah.
Listen, so what is this formula? You said that there's coaches and mentors that don't know how that formula works. So what is the formula that you provide or that you have that you feel that works?
Yeah. So the formula, sorry, my phone's ringing. The formula for that, what I have is it's basically creating a plan and then
Okay.
attaching a budget to that plan, attaching a series of target your target audience. So for what I would do is the budget would be 5 to 10% of your net income for the year, which should be reinvested
Okay.
into your top people. Your top people that you pick should be the top 10 to 20% of your database that you pick. Those are going to be your A plus clients or your A clients. You should rank your database. That way, who you don't just pick at random. You should really focus on people who have bought into you the most, people who know you, like you, and trust you the most. And when you invest in them, I mean, you've already, I guess the way to put it is an easy way to kind of give you a metaphor here is stop looking for new land and just work with the land you already have. You've already sowed seeds here. So nourish those. So many people plant a bunch of seeds and then they don't nourish them and they just go try to find new land to sow more seeds and they don't nourish the ones they already have. And then, if you just stayed and nourished what you already have, you'd already have a crop. Just just
That's
stop.
true.
You're just looking out for land and all that other stuff. So that's basically the formula: is work with the best clients you have, determine a good budget for those people, and then create a plan for it. And then once you have the gifting plan, you have the vendors and the suppliers or whatever your supplies are. Then you don't have to do. Then you just have to. All you have to do is execute at that point. That's the whole thing. But a lot of people. But it takes a lot of time, and that was what I was. When I was in real estate, a lot of people told me, like, what are you doing? How are you getting so many referrals? This is how. And they were like, wow, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I was like, there's a market there. And that's why Appreciation Advocate was born. Because I'm like, you know what? Pay me and I'll do it for you. So that's what we do.
That's what you do now. Okay. So because you were in the real estate business. So now you don't do the real estate, correct?
I do for a little bit. So like, let's put it this way. I have a database, obviously. I've served in real estate for 10, 11 years now. So if you're like in the club, like if you come to me and say, hey, Steve, remember when you sold me that house 7 years ago? We're moving to California now, so I need to sell. I said, yeah, no problem. Like, that's not a problem.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go actively, like, try to go find new clients, and I'm not going to sit there.
Full-time.
Do the calls and that stuff.
So you're the CEO of the Appreciation Advocate. Is that what your company is right now?
Yeah, that's what we do. We use to put it in one nice, clean, simple sentence. Appreciation Advocate basically uses gift giving to generate referrals for small businesses. That's it.
That's it.
It's very straightforward.
And who's most of the clients you work with? Like
service-based industries. Yeah, basically. So anybody who's like like if your career is basically like if you have a quote unquote book of business that you will eventually sell when you retire, that's who we work with. Like a doctor or a dentist or a coach, like a life, like any kind of business coach, life coach, venture capital firms, real estate agents, financial advisors, accountants, attorneys, lawyers, like all that, anything, all that stuff, contractors.
Right. So when they go to your website, is your website is your name? Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, you can go to appreciationadvocate.com. Yeah, that's our website.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have that in the description below as well. Okay. And then we'll go to the website. What can one expect? Is there they send you like their contact information, say, hey, listen, and they leave a little subject, hey, I want to talk to you about XYZ?
Yeah, you could do that. Or you could just send me an email directly. And I do check my email like multiple times a day. So if you just send me an email to steve@appreciationadvocate.com, that's fine. Okay. You can just do that, and we can set up a one-on-one, and that's easy too.
Right. What is the maybe some of the similar mistakes that you see a lot of people do? Like maybe they reach out to you and they'll try to pitch their idea of what they want, and then you give them the blueprint. It's okay, here it is, and then all of a sudden they say, well, you know what? No, I don't think that's gonna work. Or maybe right? Like, what's that mistake that you see them commonly do a lot, especially the entrepreneurs nowadays?
Yeah, so obviously as entrepreneurs, a lot of us are marketers as well, or they come from marketing, and the marketing core inside them, like, I swear to God, I feel like I'm ripping their soul out when I tell them that they're not allowed to put branding on any of the things that we send people, because they're obsessed with branding everything. I want to brand this, I want to brand that, I'll put my logo here, put my logo there. And it's like, no. It's a promotional item. If you do that, it's not a gift. The gift is about the receiver. A promotional item is about the giver. We're making this about them, not you. So you can't put your branding on there. And like, do you see their eye like twitching? And that's
why I asked. Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking, because I could imagine me putting myself in your shoes. You're like, well, wait a minute. If you want this to work out, follow these steps.
Yeah, don't make it about you. It's not about you. Nobody cares about you anyway. Like, it's about, if people don't ask what's in it for you, they ask what's in it for me. So, and when like when you put your gifts together, make it about them. And when they open up the gift, they're going to keep it. Like if I said, all right, one of the gifts I used to send in real estate was I used to get a cutting board, which is a common real estate gift. But what I would do is a lot of real estate agents would put like Remax name, confirmation, or contact information, all that stuff in like the corner, or they have a big Remax logo on it. It's like stupid stuff. So what I would do is I'd have like a big monogram of their last name on it. Then I'd have their actual last name written underneath the monogram. Then I'd have the address of the home they bought, the written in cursive on there. And then I'd have the date they bought the home on there. It was all about them. And some of
Yeah.
them, they like the cutting board so much, they actually, what they did is they hung it up as like a decorative piece on the wall, because they were like,
Wow.
I'm not cutting that. I don't want to
Yeah.
cut that. I want that hung up.
Yeah.
So people would
Yeah.
do that. So, and it was always about
Okay.
them. Or I used to get them watercolor paintings of their home too, as as a gift for when they
Wow.
bought their home. So like that was a
Yeah.
cool gift, and it was like they're not going to throw that out. But you know what? A lot of real estate agents used to do is they give them a bottle of champagne at settlement, and chocolate or flowers, and like all of
Yeah.
those things go. That's one impression. So this is how I sucker those marketers whose eyes start twitching when I tell them they can't brand things.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is how I get them. So I basically, what I do is I say, look, let's imagine this. You as a marketing expert, your job is to get impressions. Imagine paying, if I told you I was an expert in marketing, and I told you were going to pay $250 for every impression you made. What would you say? You're like, I would fire you. I was like, exactly, right? I said, that's what you're doing. I said, you paid for that bottle of champagne. That was probably $20 to $50 for one impression. For that bouquet of flowers, that was $20 to $50 for one impression. And anything, and that cutting board that you sent, that was probably $25 to $50 for one impression. And they tossed all of it. So just so you know, you got 3 impressions and it cost you $75 to $150. And they're like, oh, because the thing is, like mine, they're not going to throw my watercolor painting away. They're not going to throw that majestic monogrammed cutting board away. They're going to see that every day, and I'm going to make an impression every day for 365 days a year for probably a little for around the same price. So it's like, you're going to see me, you're going to think of me. Even Cutco knives and scissors and things like that, like anything, we call it attacking the kitchen, because everybody spends time in the kitchen. So and so we try to furnish their kitchen with everything something nice. So every time they pick up a utensil, oh, my realtor gave me this. Oh, my realtor gave me that. Oh, my realtor gave me this pan. Oh, my realtor gave me this knife. Oh, my realtor gave me this cool gadget, whatever the hell, wine bottle opener, whatever it was. It was my realtor bought me my kitchen, basically. If they couldn't do anything in their house without thinking of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point, man. I like the way you brought that, because see, that's things that we don't see, especially in the marketing. You know, people like you said, people want to brand, they want to make it. Yeah, exactly. This is a Facebook. Oh, this is my Facebook page. I'm gonna just slap everything that I do on there, but that's not necessarily true. What else can you say? Yeah, why do you think that though?
So, because people love to buy, they hate to be sold. And when you go in there throwing your logo all over everything, and it's like, you're selling. Nobody likes to be sold to. If I come up to you and I start shoving stuff in your face, you're just gonna be like, whoa, dude, yo, cool your jets. That's what you're
exactly.
Yeah. Versus like me sending you, 3 or 4 high quality gifts over the course of a year, you're gonna be like, wow, this, you know what? I already bought my house. He already earned his commission. He's still doing this. That, like, he obviously clearly cares. And he clearly was in it for more than just that commission. That's really cool of him.
Okay.
I'm going to refer him to my family and friends. And then that's how it works. And then you do that for every client. When you have 250 clients who are like A+ clients, it's like, you don't really have to work that much. You don't have to work that hard. Now it's just fun. It's like, how can I make this person's day today? And that's my marketing campaign.
Okay. Do you have a book? Is there a book for this or no? Not yet.
Yeah. So I'm actually writing a book right now. I have my next meeting for it. We're pretty much finalizing it in a couple weeks, and then it should be coming out within a couple months. So I'll have to send you a copy of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey man, that's awesome. You know why I asked that? It's funny because I will say about 90% of my guests, I ask them that question, and they're either working on it or they just launch a book. It's crazy. A lot of people on this podcast are being born. Yeah, the books are being born on this podcast, man. Woo!
Dude, you should call it the Book Launcher Podcast.
I know, yeah. For real, man. That's no joke. No, that's definitely, awesome. Man. When you get everything ready, I'll send you my information. Definitely, I will have to have a book. And then when you get the book and it's up and ready and whatnot, I'm gonna have the hard copy right here, and then we'll talk about the book, and we'll have another podcast just for the book. For real.
That's awesome. Yeah, happy to send it to you. Just let me when we're done with the episode, send it over. I'll send you
absolutely.
Get you something.
Okay, cool. Well, when is the book about to launch? Like sometime this year?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, let's say probably like June, July. Mm-hmm.
Ah, excellent. Yeah. Okay, man. I'm all about these new books, man, especially
Yeah,
when they're my
I
guests.
I am dreading though. I am going to do an audio version of it so people can listen to it on Audible and stuff. And I am really, really dreading just standing there and reading for like 9 hours.
Oh, but you know what? You have to because
You
that's
got
the
to be the
theme
guide.
now,
You
man.
gotta you gotta read it.
Yeah,
You can't
you know,
have somebody
and
else do it for you.
it makes sense though because when people hear your voice, they're hearing the voice. It's not like I'm reading, I'm listening to my voice. I want to hear your voice
Right, and
because it
that's
sounds
what makes so many books so much better like that. Because I sometimes
yeah,
there have been many times where I have not bought a book because the author doesn't read it, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear some like boring, lousy audiobook voice guy reading. I want to hear the guy who wrote the book. I want to hear
the
the
guy.
passion in his voice, and I want to hear him add in anecdotes in here and there where even though it's not in the script, but it's not in the book, just say stuff like when Grant
That's
Cardone read his
true.
book 10x Rule. He read that book and it was
Yeah,
hilarious. And then Jordan Belfort read a Straight Line Selling or whatever that book's called.
yeah.
He read that and he was adding curse words in there that were not in the book, obviously, and it was just like, yes,
You
this is so
see?
good.
Yeah, yeah. No, and now Stephen A. Smith too with the Straight Shooter.
Oh,
You know,
did he? I
his
didn't
book
know.
is
Okay.
yeah, he has the audio with his voice, and of course, you know, if anybody knows that voice, you know,
Oh,
you're gonna
it's unmistakable.
exactly, exactly. So, well, listen, man, Steve, I appreciate your time, man. I think you have brought some great content, man. I appreciate you, and I'm definitely gonna save your time for the next podcast when we have the book out. That'd be
No,
awesome to have you back on air.
yeah, for sure. I'm happy to be here. I mean, I enjoy talking to you, and you've got great questions too. So it's nice to be on a podcast where people are, you know, you're
Yeah,
prepared, you're
nothing
talking, and you're having a good time.
scripted.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Exactly.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
don't like
nice.
those scripted. So tell me once upon a time when you were in the backyard on your own. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Super surface level questions here. It's like, all right,
Right. Yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
exciting.
Exactly. So listen, Steve, man, I appreciate you. If there's maybe a last word, I'd like to leave a last word for any entrepreneur out there that's struggling in the marketing. Let's just use the marketing. What's your some short advice that you could give any entrepreneurs that are struggling right now?
Okay. Couple of favorite quotes. I'll give you one. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. That's one. And then the second
Okay.
thing is if when your priorities are clear, your decisions are easy. So focus on those.
Yeah.
Make sure getting
Yeah.
those in order will make your decisions a lot easier. And then obviously, it goes without saying, find a way to get gratitude into your life. The second you start practicing, I'm telling you, like that will.
Yeah.
What I've learned is that cynicism and negativity, the way the hormones in your brain work, they actually can't exist in the mind at the same time that gratitude and appreciation exist. Apparently, it's like water and oil. Now, I don't know the hormones and
Yeah.
names for all
Yeah.
this stuff, but I just know that gratitude and appreciation can't exist with cynicism and negativity at the same time. So if you
Oh,
really
you're
want to
right.
just, as Steve Harvey says, if you want to coat your mind in gratitude, you can basically uh, just really solidify a happier life for yourself. And I think that's really, so if you're a marketer, those are some mindset things. And then practical things you can do is just start ranking your database, find out who your top 20% are, and then start focusing
Okay.
on nurturing those seeds. Find your 20%,
Okay.
determine your budget, start appreciating those people with that budget. And
Yes.
then that's your action step.
That real appreciation too. That real
Real
appreciation is
good
very
stuff. Not
important.
don't
Some
be sending
authentic.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
sending like flowers and gift cards and stupid
No, no,
stuff.
no.
No food
No.
items or alcohol. No
Exactly.
events or experiences that only give one. Remember, we're there for more than one impression. Don't be sending things that only make one impression.
Exactly. And I think it's important, like you said, those relationships is important. The interaction with them, follow up, and I think it's get to know. You know, one thing that I've learned, Steve, on this podcast is I get to know my guests. Like that's why when I prepare myself before this, you know, I'm already, you know, already researched who you are and visit your website. You know what I'm saying? Like spend that
Sure.
time to get to know the guests, you know, and I think vice versa. The guests should know also the podcast platform that they're coming on so they have an idea, you know, who's the audience, right? I mean, basically. So I think it works that way in every aspect. So
Yes. Agreed.
awesome, Steve. Listen, man, I'll be sending you all the links and all the information shortly. So thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you and go Eagles.
Damn right. Go Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. All right, man.
That's
You
right.
take care. All right,
All
Steve.
right.
Thank
Sounds
you for
good,
your
Angel.
time. I
Thanks again.
appreciate it. All right, we'll be in touch.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, folks. So there you have it, man. Once again, Steve has dropped some great knowledge on here. So subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have all his links below, so you can be able to follow him. You can follow him at his website also at stevebuzagani.com. I have all the information there. Bazagani. Remember, it's with that accent, like harmony. All right. So you can also follow him on Facebook. I have him there. He has LinkedIn and one on all his other accounts. All right. So follow him, man, because he has some great stuff, man. Some great uh, gratitude marketing. It's all about that being gratitude, being grateful. Okay. All right, folks. So you can follow me also on Instagram under Angel Santos Podcast and under my Twitter account under Angel Santos 75. All right, folks. So listen, before we leave, I do want to leave you with a positive scripture. Every time I like to bring a lot of scriptures, being on that positive mindset as well. And it's in Second Corinthians 5:17. It says, anyone who is joined to Christ is a new being. The old is gone, the new has come. So if you're joined, you're connected, right? In Christ, and Christ is in you, then that old person is gone, the new one has come. So that's important. So remember, folks, like you said, gratitude is a very important key to success. Be grateful for everything that you have, even the smallest things. Sometimes we're so occupied in our world that we forget to give thanks for the smallest things in life. So don't let those smallest things in life pass you by and not be grateful, all right? So I'm grateful for you guys, my audience. I'm grateful for all of my guests that have been on this platform before and that have dropped some knowledge, that have been a part of this podcast, that share this podcast, and that are always connected and tuning in. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode, and I'll let you know who my next guest is. So be safe. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.